Good morning, all. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. To introduce everybody, my name is Ron Merritt. I'll be your chairperson this morning. Introducing to my left Mr. Robert Faluk, and to his left Mr. Robert Buss. And our recording secretary is Carla Belshaw, and our assessor from the city of Winnipeg is Mr. Adok Hanoff. Close enough?
Very close.
Okay. And our recording secretary is, like I said, Carla Belshaw. We'll be hearing applications for the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested has been described in each application and will limit discussions to those matters. The statements that the applicant or the assessor make at the hearing are sworn in testimony, and anybody speaking these matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that assessments or comparison of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it, and along with the City Administration. We make our decisions based on the evidence provided at this hearing and issue a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decision in respect to application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, the information will be provided in the board's hearing. In respect to the hearing, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the other applicants may have, and then it'll be the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have the opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about the application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket this morning. The session will close after the application has been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll ask our secretary to swear in the assessor.
Do you affirm?
I affirm.
Please state your name. Do you affirm the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you.
Julie, I don't think you'll be giving evidence, so unless you wanted to be sworn in.
Okay.
Okay. We will first go to 238 Kingsway, and there are some recommendations for the 2018 and 2019 assessments. So the floor is yours, and you can tell us about the recommendations. Okay.
So I'll start with the subject property, which is parcel ID 120402-87000 with a street address at 238 Kingsway. It's in Crescentwood neighborhood, 2.5-story single dwelling with a 1913 year bill and 1998 effective age. Living area 4,365 square feet. I'll scroll down now and states that 2018 assessment roll was $1,250,000 or $286.37 per square foot. There is a recommendation to reduce the 2018 assessed value to $1,050,000 or $240.55 per square foot to better reflect property condition. That was for 2018. 2019, same subject property with the same 2019 assessment roll at $1,250,000. There is a recommendation to reduce 2019 assessed value to $1,180,000 or $270.33 per square foot to better reflect property condition. Property owner Julie Guevara accepted recommendations via email confirmation on May 22nd, 2014. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you in agreement with the recommendations?
I am. May I ask one question?
Absolutely.
My understanding is that the market values are set in April and then they're set again 2 years later. So if a property is sold between the 2 years of assessment, is that what allows the backdating of the valuation?
I guess characteristic changes, condition changes of the property allows us to update property records. That's the value.
So it was set in April 2018, but because we bought it in July, then that value can be adjusted at that time?
No, it was the assessed value for for the previous condition of the property was done as of the condition of the property prior to renovations, and that value was set for April 1st, 2016. Hence, it is a renovation. It is the condition of your property today as if sold back in April 2016 market. So it is not the condition of your property on April 1st, 2016, it is the condition of your property today. And what it would have sold for on April 1st, 2016, or any other reference period.
Yeah, that just it confuses me because there's such a change in the condition of the property to go back to 2016. So that's what I still didn't understand. I agree with the values, but I just don't understand the timing of it, how it can go back. I've bought and sold properties before, I've just never had it backdated to the value, so I'm still not
I
understanding
think
that.
that probably the easiest example would be if it was a vacant land on April 1st, 2016, there would be just land value. On May of 2016, you build a brand new house there. So the assessment will no longer be, and if we are reviewing the value in 2018, on April 1st, 2016, it was vacant land. But because there was an improvement done to the property, we'll value current improvement and what it would have sold for back on April 1st, 2016.
We just have one question. The panel member recommended or saw that on the, I guess one of the sheets here, it says the property owner, the date is wrong. It's May 22nd, you had 2014.
Should be 19. I was
19,
wondering.
correct.
I thought this was dragging on for a long
It
time.
was a typo, and I didn't catch it either.
All right, so you are in agreement, and
I'm in agreement.
so there's nothing further, so you may go, and
Okay.
thank you for your appearance.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good day.
You too.
Okay, we'll go to Musgroves, number 70. If you're, you can come forward. If you're both giving evidence, that's fine. No?
He's gonna talk.
Okay,
I'm gonna read.
okay, okay. You can give it to our
Oh, okay,
secretary.
sorry.
That's okay.
You know, that's what we
Do you
pay
need your own
for.
coffee or?
Yeah, I have no problem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So you'll be speaking. Will you swear
Yes.
in or affirm this morning?
I'll swear.
Okay. Please state your name.
Eric Dawson,
Do you swear the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Thank you. Will you be speaking at all? State your name.
Christine Dawson?
Do you swear the evidence you present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so you saw the first one, so
Yeah.
we'll let the assessor go first.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll hear how they determine value and what the value is, and you may ask questions in regards to their brief.
Okay.
The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Subject property was parcel ID 01-005-669100, street address 70 Musgrove Street in River West Park neighborhood. Is a 1-story single dwelling, 1976 year built with 1991 effective age, 2,372 square feet, living area, full basement with a basement finish, 1 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 1 shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, attached multi-car garage, assessed lot size 6,849 square feet. 2019 assessment roll is $513,000. Total assessment per square foot is $216.27. Comparable one is 19 Musgrove. All of the comparables are in the River West Park neighborhood. So comparable one is 19 Musgrove Street. It's affordable split single dwelling, 1975-year build with 1990 effective age, 2,000 square feet living area, full basement with a basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms and 1 shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace and attached multi-car garage. Lot size 8,987 square feet. Sale price, time adjusted sale price $541,800. Time adjusted sale price per square foot $270.90. Sold in September of 2014. Comparable to is 18 Cass Street. Affordable split single dwelling, 1976 year build and 1976 effective age. 2,237 square feet living area. For the basement type, it's a full part area. No basement finish on record. 1 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 1 shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, attached multi-car garage. 7,444 square feet. Lot size with a park influence. Time adjusted sale price $457,200. Time adjusted sale price per square foot is $204.38. Sold in September of 2014. Comparable 3 is 23 Musgrove Street, 2-story single dwelling, 1975 year build, 1980 effective age, 2,194 square feet. Living area, full basement with a basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 3 half bathrooms, 2 showers, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, attached multi-car garage, 9,030 square feet lot size, and time adjusted sale price is $497,300. Time adjusted sale price per square foot $226.66. Sold in July of 2014. Comparable number 4 is 78 Musgrove Street. It's a 2-story single dwelling, 1976 year build and same year for effective age. 2,297 square feet of living area, full basement and the basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms and 1 shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, attached multi-car garage. Lot size 7,760 square feet. Time adjusted sale price is $535,100. Time adjusted price per square foot $232.96. Property sold in November of 2014. As per condition of subject property, there was a post-reference sale for the subject property, and I'll read out a condition that was described by the listing agent. It's tucked away in the mature trees of Charleswood and bordered by the Assiniboine River. It's a little known neighborhood of the River West Park. So that speaks for the neighborhood. This incredibly built Mainzer home is full of upgrades. Hardwood cover the main floor except where interpreted by travertine. A fabulously renovated eating kitchen creates a wonderful gathering space with a large Korean covered island. 2 sinks, built-in dual oven, stunning range hood over a gas stove, flanked by a sunken family room, complete with gas fireplace and sunken living room, both with beautiful bay windows. The kitchen remains open. Colors and finishing flow through the house, creating cohesive space. All bathrooms have been renovated with the same stone as the kitchen. New carpet leads up to the stairs, to the 4th bedroom, to the 4 bedrooms with the fourth and beautiful large space a couple of steps higher among the 3 tops. Finished basement, deck, double attached garage. Complete the home. New shingles in 2017. Thank you.
I thank you. Questions of the assessor's brief, just what you've heard?
No, not really. I feel like the listing agent is gonna make the home seem like as best as they can, right? Because I mean, they're trying to sell the home, so. We do love our house, it's beautiful. We were not denying that.
I'll just see whether any of the panel members have any questions in regards to the assessor. Mr. Furlong?
No, thank you.
Mr. Buss?
Yes, age variant from 1976 to 1991. Is there a specific reason for that?
Well, age variant is added when properties have been renovated, upgrades done to the properties, such as flooring, kitchen, windows,
Bathrooms.
exterior sidings, bathrooms, yes.
All these have been updated in this house?
Well, a lot of things have been. I cannot tell you exactly what, but per listing information I have right now, it seems like kitchen, bathrooms, new flooring have been updated.
Thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chairman.
I just have a couple, comparable cell number 1 has got a pool.
Correct.
Okay. So, and the subject doesn't.
No.
Okay. Would you say the comparables, the subject is a 2-story, and you have a couple of split levels, so are you saying that they're comparable?
Well, in a sense, I was going for the area, because in real estate, location is the key. So with that subject is a 2 1-story. So what it has, and it's a 2 1-story with a full basement. So what it has a larger basement that a normal 2-story would have. On a subject property is a larger house than any of the comparables. So, no, yes, there are different houses. Like 4-level split would be probably closer to subject than a 2-story would be in a way of the staircase design. But the basement would have 2 levels in a 4-level split, where in subject it would have to be basement would have to be 1 level, but bigger, yes, allowing larger basement area.
You get a chance to go through to the property at all?
No, I just was able to take a peek at it from outside. That's it.
All right. All right, thank you. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. So I see that you gave us comparables different than the ones that we originally got when we got in this morning. I believe it was you that I saw yesterday coming by our neighborhood on our street. It was a city. Yeah, that was you taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was the assessment made on these properties that were first sent to us, which is South Boyne, which we know where that is? Shire, South Boyne, and then you changed. Now you've given us different assessment properties today because you came by yesterday while I was cutting the lawn. I'm just because I mean, if that's the properties you assessed us at are on South Boyne, which we go with our bikes there sometimes, and we wouldn't be able to live there. Let's just put it that way. So if was it assessed on me based on these properties that you sent that you guys sent us in the first place, or by the ones that you came down with your car and took a look probably for the first time yesterday?
Well, the way I think I'll try to explain.
Sure.
I cannot answer what exactly which properties the regression model used, because it uses all of the sales. The regression model takes all of the sales in the area to create an assessment. It weighs many different characteristics. For the purpose of the Board of Revision hearing, 4 comparables are selected to defend the value. The 4 comparables you see first in South Point bed source. I'll have to explain a bit. I was given this appeal because the original assessor who was scheduled to do it was not able to make it. So I had literally less than a week to get ready with this hearing. I was able to take a drive through the neighborhood yesterday. I was able to complete some of the new comparables this morning.
Thank you, and that must be a difficult position for you to be in, because we're mainly here because we phoned 311 because of the reasoning behind the changes to a tax account, and 311 told us that an assessor was going to be calling us. Now the person I talked to, his name was Justin, and as noted in, I was going to read this, but I'm just going to talk about it now.
Yeah, I read it.
You read it. We spoke on the phone, and the way he answered his questioning our questions is mainly the reason we're here. We had asked him a simple question of, it was It was brought to us, the paperwork was brought to us because there was gonna be changes to our tax account, which was then gonna affect our tip payment plan. So we're like, well, if it's affecting our tip payment plan by quite a huge number, which affects how much we pay per month to live, we thought we maybe phone the 311 and see if we could talk to the assessor and see the reasoning why. Because the reasoning why stated was by interior alterations. Now, I asked them politely, has there ever been any permits taken out on this property since we bought it, or during the last assessment period, or even previous to that? And he said no. And I said, well, it states by interior alterations, so could you explain to me like when these were done, and that's the reasoning behind the hike in assessment value. He then said he couldn't give me an answer on that because he couldn't see anything on his records. And I then told him, I said, well, that's kind of not fair. And he said, well, you paid $535 for your house, so you should have assumed that when you paid that price, that your taxes were going to go up. Now, for me, that was, I didn't think that was fair. I didn't like the way he answered that. I feel like it doesn't say when we got our letter from the city that our changes to our tax account was due because you paid $535 for your house, so we should have assumed as a new homeowner that our taxes were gonna go up. We figured that when we bought the home, we weren't gonna make any changes to it. Anyway, nowhere near in the near future anyways, because we can't do it. So just the reasoning and how this assessor spoke to us is the reason really why we are here today, is because we believe that there has been an error in justification of increase. And I may add to that, there have not been any changes or alterations to the home since April 1st, 2016 general assessment, nor since we have purchased it. The most recent change to the house are the shingles installed in 2017, which is considered regular maintenance. As for the rest of the alterations made to the home, we as new homeowners cannot confirm during which general assessment period nor by whom these were made. There are no known permits showing timelines of alterations on this property, as confirmed by the assessor during our phone conversation. The correction in assessment value statement was by interior alterations and not you purchased at $535 and should have assumed as a new homeowner that your taxes were going to go up. And we feel that the corrected property assessment is too high. We are here to appeal the recent changes made to our tax account. But I mean, yeah, we spoke to Justin, and we were thinking we were going to be speaking to Justin today. So, and again, this also shows us here that Justin made assessment values on South Boyne. And the other thing I want to state too is we decided, her and I, not to make comparables to our neighbors. We didn't want to do that. If they have any issues, they can come here themselves. We're here for the reasoning behind the tax increase and the way that the assessor spoke to us on the phone. And his reasoning behind his questioning was, just to us, wasn't fair. And I do also see some of these comparables on your second sheet. Do you know if there's been, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there. We know the neighborhood fairly well, so, yeah, basically it's because we believe that.
What do you think the assessment should be?
I believe $480 would have been a reasonable hike for us, that we would have been considered, we just feel that it's also projected to go up to $522 in 2020, what we saw on the internet when we looked at the property assessment value. So that's an increase of $62,000 since we've owned, and we haven't even owned the home in a year, and we don't know. We just feel that $62,000 for new homeowners is quite high, and the way the assessor, the first assessor, spoke to us on the phone, we felt like we were penalized because we paid a certain price for the home. Instead, like we said, we love the home. We bought it because we obviously we love it. But getting this paperwork 9 months later with a hike of $62,000 in assessment value increase, which subsequently, as the paperwork states, is going to increase our tip payments by $62. a month.
Yeah.
We just feel that the reasoning that the first assessor gave us, because we bought for $535, that we should have assumed that our taxes were gonna go up, was not really a fair reasoning behind it. When it states, as a result, the recent changes states, for the reasons noted below, interior alterations. And it also states that the assessment, general assessment reference date is April 1st, 2016 for the 2018 year. And we know that there hasn't been any permits pulled out before then, or close to there. And we haven't pulled any we haven't done any alterations to the home since we bought it. So we're just, if they're gonna say it's by interior alterations during this assessment period, well, why then did the assessor tell me I paid $535 for my house and I should have assumed that my taxes were gonna go up? Those two reasons for the hike in our tip payment plan are two different things, and we just thought that was unfair, and that's the reason we're here. Best I can do. I'm not a lawyer or anything, so. You have anything to add?
And that's your presentation.
Cindy, have anything to add?
Any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, I just had a couple of questions. Would you agree that your house has newer, what I'm trying to say is a lot of times prior to sale, houses are remodeled whether permits taken out or not. So would you agree that your house has newer bathrooms, newer kitchen, newer flooring?
Yes, but sir, this could have easily been done in 2010 before the last owner bought the home. We as new homeowners cannot know when the alterations are made. So why are we being hiked because we're new homeowners? And the assessor looked at the listing of the listing agent and saw that we paid $535, and then and we asked him for the reason why, and it says by interior alterations, which we have no record of when they were done, and he then tells us that we paid $535 for a house, which I never mentioned in the first place in the conversation we had on the phone. And then he just says that we should have assumed that our taxes were going to go up. We have no record of, as new homeowners, we do not know when they were done, because we don't have records of when permits are pulled or if things are even done correctly. We as a young couple bought this home hoping that everything was done right in the home. We don't know when they were done. And he also stated that the past homeowner had bought in 2011. So, and I said, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, and he then mentioned that, well, most homeowners don't let us come into their home, so we don't know when things were done. So, us as new homeowners, we have no idea when these were done, and it could very possibly be done before the previous owner even bought the home.
Yeah, and then when we bought the house, we always, obviously, you always look at how much the taxes are gonna be, right? So we thought they were assessed like up to date, so then, cause it says tax year 2017, so we thought whatever renos the previous owners did, we thought that the house, like the city was already assessed to its value, so then so we're like, okay, these are the taxes, and we can do this, and then 9 months in, we get a huge hike, and we're like, what? Like, it's different if we would have just flipped the whole house, we're off the hop.
If we would have made renovations,
we didn't flip nothing, we didn't do any renos, we just moved in.
All we did.
And already adjusted these taxes that we weren't used to paying from our previous home, so it was a big adjustment already, and now we just felt like less than a year later, we get hit with a huge, like a big increase, which we find. So it's tough for our budget, so
And
we just feel like it's
I may add to what Christine is saying is, when the assessor tells you that you paid $530, again, I'm repeating myself, but that's the reason is that comment that he made to us is the reason we bought for a certain number. That's why your number you must have assumed. Well, he has to realize that these numbers, it might just be numbers for him, but they do affect the family's budget. So we felt like saying that to him on the phone, but by the time that the conversation was over already. And it's pretty evident to us too, by this here, by you coming here and him assessing to Southbourne and then you coming in and coming to our street yesterday, that there are discrepancies there for sure, and we feel that's not fair.
Okay. Well, looking at what the comparables that I have provided, would you agree that you just bought your house, so you looked at probably a lot of houses prior to select, or handful of houses prior to making a decision to buy that one. Would you agree that there is a theory in assessment that smaller houses sell for less value and the larger houses sell for more value? Everything else being equal?
Sir, we are not assessors of the city, we're not real estate agents,
Yeah.
so we cannot answer that question. I mean, it depends on the house, would you not say? Like, a smaller house could be upgraded and have a great yard and great trees and sell for more than a bigger house, I would say. So I think that's up to, we can't answer that question.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I did say everything else being equal, so just like the size of the property.
Okay.
But what was the assessed value prior to the change?
460.
460. Oh, I don't have any other questions, thank you.
Right, thank you. Mr. Luke?
No, I think that all the information is here, and we'll have to give some serious consideration and to both comments, and I have no questions based on what you're prepared.
Thank you. Mr. Buss?
So you bought the house in 2018,
Yes.
and you haven't done any work to it since you
No, sir.
purchased it?
Yeah, no, we can't really do anything to the property.
Okay.
And yeah, no, sorry.
That's all my questions, Mr. Chairman.
To follow up on Mr. Buss's question, you bought it in 2018, and when exactly did you purchase the house?
August.
August?
Oh, no, sorry, we bought it.
August 22nd.
August 22nd.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's 20,
And
22nd,
what was the list price at the time?
550,
550.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So we never got into a bidding war or anything like that?
No.
All right. Summation, if you so desire?
Well, I think looking at the comparable sales within the area, there is plenty of evidence suggesting that the more elevated the house, the higher it sells for, and the comparables are a bit smaller in the living area. But the market evidence suggests that there are sales that support the current assessment. Thank you.
Final word?
No, I think we're good. Thank you.
Right. So thank you for coming this morning, and we'll make our decision and
And then we can,
inform you.
and you get informed by a letter in the mail, or is that? how it
Registered
works?
letter.
Registered
Yeah.
letter, okay, perfect.
All right,
Thank you for your
so
time.
thank you for
Okay,
coming.
thank you, and have a
Thank
good
you.
Good experience.
Mr. Penner, Mr. Newman. Thank you. Well, thank you.
Yes, have a great weekend.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll call the hearing back to order, and we'll have everybody sworn in.
Do you affirm or swear?
Swear.
Okay, please state your name.
David Thomas George Penner?
Do you swear the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Business tax.
Please state your name.
Newman?
Do you swear the evidence you'll present today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
I'm just,
Good morning, gentlemen. How would you like to proceed this morning?
Well, I think there's not going to be much of an issue here this
Okay.
morning. Mr. Penner's going to make a recommendation. The
Okay.
decision was issued on realty. I just got it yesterday afternoon. I haven't even spoken to the client about it yet.
Okay,
So,
we'll hear Mr. Penner then, and you can tell us about the recommendation, Mr. Penner.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is, the first one is the 2018 supplementary business assessment. The file number is 19-21. The business roll number is 6792. This is the business at 826 Regent Avenue, which is the Canadians Transcona. The supplementary business assessment came about as a result of additional space at the hotel. They recently expanded their rooms from 50 rooms to 101 rooms. Just a week ago today, we heard the realty supplementary assessments, and at that time, a ruling came forth adjusting the realty value. As is typical in hotels, we go through any changes from the realty through to the VA. So I'll just summarize the situation on this property. The market value of the hotel with the expansion was $11,646,000, and the business assessment was done on that basis. Typically, we take 10% of the realty value, add the occupancy costs, as you see there, giving us the original annual rental value of $1,401,900. That's on page 1 of my brief. If you'll turn to the second page, it's just a revised calculation of the assessed value. As you can see, the market value of the hotel is now $11,025,000. This is resulting from the board order, which I've attached to show that it was reduced from $11,646,000 to $11,025,000. So using $11,025,000 and taking 10% gives us $1,102,500. Adding the cost to occupy, which stayed the same, $237,294, gives us a new value of $1,339,800. At this point, and as Mr. Newman alluded to, we don't know if this will be appealed further to the municipal board or not, but the value in the roll presently sits at $11,025,000. So the calculation of 10% plus cost gives $1,339,800. It's not necessarily a recommendation on our part, but it's what we would expect the board to determine based on the typical valuation for business assessment in hotels. So the new value I would expect the board would consider is $1,339,800.
Thank you, Mr. Penner. Mr. Newman, in agreement?
I have no questions.
Okay.
And as I noted earlier, the mathematics is correct, so I have no quarrel with that. Whether there will be an appeal yet on the realty, I don't know. As I noted, I got the decision only yesterday afternoon and have not even spoken with the client about it yet. So I'm not contesting what Mr. Penner is proposing, but at the same time, I'm noting that there may yet be an appeal on the realty.
All right. Panel members, any questions? None? I think that concludes the business, so thank you, Mr. Newman. Mr. Penner, thank you very kindly.
Yeah, and
is there anything for the 219?
I'll just comment that the 2019 is calculated in exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Value.
Yes. All right.
Need the roll number on
Yes.
Sure, I can do that. So the 2019 assessment, the file number, Board of Revision file number is 19-20. Again, the business ID is 6792. The address 826 Regent Avenue. And in 2019, the original annual rental value was $1,401,900. Flowing through the reduced realty value, again, from the Board of Revision realty hearing, gives us a value of $1,339,800.
Thank you, sir. I think that concludes everything. So, thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.